Yeah, it definitely is going to feel like even almost like Christmas-like weather too in some parts of this, given what the temperatures and the wind chills will feel like. The good news with all this, it's not going to last too long. So by this point, early next week, we're going to be back to the 40s. So if you don't like it, just wait a few days. It will improve. For tonight, really, it's going to be on and off cloud cover with that north-northwest wind. You could see a few breaks here and there. Even a sprinkle or flurry north of Eau Claire is possible too, as some of this continues to filter behind the cold front that is now sagged to our south. As we get towards the morning, it'll become more overcast as you wake up. Once again, you see the clouds begin to expand from west to east, so any type of gap there will be filled in. Now as we get closer to 10 a.m. tomorrow, that system dives south. The main low is actually going to be towards northern Missouri eventually, so it's pretty far south and has been shifting further south. But we could see some light snow spread across west of the river, getting close to the area, maybe a little bit of light rain. Precipitation type is going to be kind of critical, at least in the beginning, but I think by the time we get to noon, you're going to see precipitation really from Winona southward start to develop, and as you go south to La Crosse, that's where it gets a little bit more interesting with precipitation type. It could be a mix here for a few hours that will persist. Further north to Eau Claire, it's going to be on and off those flurries, light snow, not expect to see much in the way of actually precipitation, just a lot of cloud cover going on. As we get towards 3, you're going to start seeing any type of snow probably around La Crosse. It's going to switch over to snow at least by that point. Further south, all the way to Prairie du Chien, it's a little bit more in question. Crawford, Richland County, precipitation type is going to be kind of back and forth depending on how things play out. Eventually, I think this will transition once we get to 5 to 6 p.m. to all snow. But at the same time, it's going to start wrapping up north of La Crosse going to really any Black River Falls. So all this will be kind of wrapping up. Then it'll be just Crawford, Richland County points into Iowa that'll continue to see the light rain, eventually transition to all snow, and then really become just flurry activity or light snow at times after 9 p.m. with clearing skies and an increase in that north wind. As you see some of the clearing skies by 4 a.m., that wind starts picking up as the cold air filters into the area. Now, snow amounts, as you look right here, really has been switched south of us. I think 1 to 3 will be staying just south of the area. It could clip areas in southwest Wisconsin, depending on when it changes over. Grassy areas mainly, so just expect wet roads during the day. At night, there could be some slick spots, especially further south of I-90, just because of the temperatures fall below freeze, and that would be really the only concern with roads. Otherwise, it's just going to be wet. As your temperatures tonight, pretty much in the 30s. They're not going to change much for some areas further north. They're going to remain in the 30s. We may touch 40 a few areas to the south, but that's about it. Then as we go into Sunday, lows, we're going to get back into the teens and 20s as we clear out behind it. Pretty chilly conditions. That doesn't factor in the wind chill. Sunday, barely getting to freezing for most areas. There could be a few showers out there or flurries. Won't be a lot of activity with that. But here's your wind chills. Single digits to start off on Sunday. By the afternoon time frame, probably back into the 20s, so still kind of cold. As you go back to work on Monday, we're going to be back in the single digits and teens. So it's going to be a cold start to the work week, but as I mentioned, it doesn't last long. We're back in the 40s, even 50s by the end of the week, and next weekend it's going to be a total different weekend than this weekend because we'll probably be back into the 50s compared to this weekend. We'll be in the 30s.